Hello, sports fans. It is Friday, May the 1st, the year 2015. And as always, a lot to get to in the sports world, so let's get it going right now. Great to be back with you guys. We are a day away from one of the biggest sporting days in history. We have so much going on tomorrow, it's ridiculous. The Pacquiao-Mayweather fight, the Kentucky Derby, NBA and NHL playoffs, including Game 7 between the Clippers and the Spurs, Major League Baseball, everything else going on in the sports world. Tomorrow there is a ton of stuff on. You could actually watch sports from 12 noon to like 1 in the morning tomorrow. That's how much stuff is going on. It is going to be a jam-packed sports weekend. Saturday is off the charts good. Let's recap where we are with everything. Let's start in the NBA in the Western Conference. I mentioned the Spurs and the Clippers. They will play a Game 7 tomorrow in LA after the Clippers go into San Antonio and win last night. What a tremendous win by the Clippers. This series has been impossible to figure out. The Clippers win Game 1. They have a chance to win Game 2. They blow that game. Then the Spurs blow out the Clippers in Game 3 in San Antonio. You think the Spurs are going to pull away in this series. Clippers win a huge Game 4 in San Antonio to make it 2-2. They go back home, and what happens? The Spurs win in LA. Then the Spurs come back home. You think they're going to polish the Clippers off last night. What happens? The Clippers win in San Antonio. I cannot figure this series out at all. I thought this series would be a long series. It is. I never thought it would go this way. The Spurs have won the last 2 in LA, and the Clippers have won the last 2 in San Antonio. Who ever thought that was going to happen? I thought for sure when San Antonio won Game 5 in LA, they were going to come home and win the game. They got off to like a 10-point lead. But give the Clippers credit, just like they did in Game 4. They really showed some great fortitude. They played a really tough game. Griffin was good. Chris Paul got his game going. Nice win by the Clippers on the road. Now the Clippers got to take this home and finish it. The Clippers have the talent. They've been close before. I mean, to me, San Antonio looks like they can be had this year. The Clippers have to go home and take care of business. This would be a bitter loss if the Clippers went home and lost 3 straight home games after the year they had, after the Clippers had a tremendous home record this year. They're going to go home and possibly lose 3 straight home games. I mean, I give a slight edge to LA because they are home, but this is a 50-50 game. I could see either team winning. It is a must-watch. I mean, we got some tremendous stuff tomorrow, but Clippers San Antonio Game 7 should be fabulous basketball. Slight edge to the Clippers, but like I said, the way this series is going, it's 50-50. The home court hasn't meant much. We thought this would be the best series in the first round. It has been. It's been really good. Make sure you watch Clippers Spurs tomorrow. Game 7. Of course, the winner of that series will play the Houston Rockets. On the bottom half of the Western bracket, it will be Golden State and Memphis. We'll see if Conley can get back for Memphis. Memphis really needs him to be competitive at all against Golden State. If you had a healthy Memphis team, they could give Golden State problems, but they're so beat up. Hard to see Memphis pulling the upset there. Over to the Eastern Conference, Atlanta is up 3-2 against Brooklyn. They look to close it out in Brooklyn. They will play, the winner of that series will play the winner of Washington. Washington swept away Toronto. And on the other side of the Eastern bracket, it will be Chicago and Cleveland. Chicago beat Milwaukee by 100 points last night. I mean, I couldn't believe how much Chicago won last night. What did they win, like 120-60 something? It was just out of control. And this is after Milwaukee, stayed alive and beat Chicago in Chicago a couple days ago. Milwaukee comes home and just gets run off the court last night. So that sets up a great second round series. Chicago and Cleveland. The problem is Kevin Love is out. He's going to miss 4 to 6 months with a separated shoulder. J.R. Smith suspended. Perkins suspended. So Cleveland's got all sorts of issues. The whole season we thought it would be Chicago that would have the injury issues with Rose and all their injuries they had. They're getting healthy. Now Cleveland's the one with all the problems. Kevin Love out 4 to 6 months. To me, that really dampens the series. Now, I still think Cleveland can win. They got LeBron and Irving. They got home court. But, I mean, that really takes a lot out of this series to me. I wanted to see these two teams healthy 100% going at it. That still should be a fabulous series, Cleveland and Chicago. So that is your NBA. Oh, one more note in the NBA. Billy Donovan leaves the University of Florida to coach Oklahoma City. I'll tell you, Donovan is walking into a nice situation. First-time coaches don't get a team like this with Durant and Westbrook and Ibaka. Now, Oklahoma City's got to stay healthy, but if they're healthy, Donovan walks into a great situation. Remember, he left briefly Florida to go to Orlando, but then he changed his mind. But this Oklahoma City team this could be a real nice find for Donovan here. Landed in Oklahoma City at this point. Most first-year coaches do not land in a situation like this. Now, we'll see if Donovan can coach in the NBA. He's never coached in the NBA before. He was a great college coach, won a couple national titles. So we'll see how Donovan can do, but he walks into a good situation. Oklahoma City has to stay healthy, though. We'll see who the University of Florida hires. I hear maybe the Xavier coach, maybe the Dayton coach. I'll tell you, the University of Florida, they were getting all those guys that now Kentucky gets with Calipari. Since Calipari's gotten to Kentucky, the guys that used to go to Florida are now going to Kentucky. Maybe that's why Billy Donovan made this move right now. Hard to compete with Kentucky right now. Donovan goes to Oklahoma City. We'll see how that works out next year. That's your NBA. Over to the NHL we go. Let's go to the Eastern Conference. What about the Washington Capitals? I've been hard on them in the past, but let's give them some credit. They win a tough Game 7 at home against the Islanders, and then they win a nice road game against the Rangers last night. 2-1 as they score with basically no time left in the game. Ovechkin was an absolute monster last night. He was all over the ice, the best player on the ice, dominated the whole game as Washington wins Game 1 2-1. Game 2 tomorrow in the Garden at 12:30. Add that to the list of the things you got to watch tomorrow. Remember, no Zuccarello for the Rangers. He looks like he's going to be out for this series. He was hit with a puck in the last series. That's a big loss for the Rangers. Rangers are having trouble scoring. Even against Pittsburgh, they didn't score a lot of goals, but Pittsburgh was even worse scoring goals. So the Rangers got through there. The Rangers got to pick up their offense, with Nash. These guys got to start putting the puck in the net. Hard to win games scoring 1 or 2 goals every time. This series should be long. It should be good. I think it will go 7. The last 2 times these teams have played, it's gone 7 games. I think it goes 7 again. It's a toss-up series. Rangers better win tomorrow, though. Don't want to fall behind 2-0 going back to Washington. Very nice job by the Washington Capitals. I've been hard on them in the past. They have really responded. As far as the other side of the East, it will be Montreal and Tampa Bay as Tampa Bay rallies and beats the Detroit Red Wings. They win the last 2 games of that series. Montreal-Tampa should be really fabulous stuff. Remember, Montreal bounced Tampa last year, but Tampa Bay dominated Montreal this year in the regular season. Montreal-Tampa, very, very good series. I still give Montreal the edge because I love Price in net. Still, really good series, Montreal and Tampa Bay. As far as the Western Conference, Anaheim just rolled over Calgary last night. They just bombed Calgary in Game 1. Anaheim up 1-0. I think Anaheim is going to get through here. I love what Calgary's done this year, but I don't think they can beat Anaheim. And then on the other side of the West, a really nice series, Chicago and Minnesota. I said from the start of the season, Chicago can make a Stanley Cup run. I still believe that. And Minnesota, a very, very underrated team. This series should be long, should be good. I give Minnesota a shot to win this series. Minnesota, a very underrated team. So that's where you are in your NHL. A lot of good stuff coming up. As far as the Kentucky Derby tomorrow, last year, I remember sitting here last year saying, there's no good horses. I don't know who to pick. There's just nothing going on. This year, you got a couple of monster horses. American Pharaoh looks like an absolute monster. So does Dormant. These 2 horses look like absolute monsters. Hard to see, neither one of these horses winning. You have to think one of the 2 is going to win. I don't know if you're betting this race. You're not going to get much value there. So I was looking for some other horses. Maybe you get some better value. I think Firing Line is a horse you should keep an eye on. He lost twice to Dormant. Both close, though. You want to keep an eye on Firing Line. You get some value with him. How about Upstart? You might want to take a look at him. If I was going to pick the top 4, I would say American Pharaoh, Dortmund, Firing Line, and Upstart. I would pick those 4. I know a lot of people like the 2 and the 3 horse, but to me, those are the 4 I would keep an eye on. I like Firing Line. That would be my upset horse, but it's hard to see American Pharaoh or Dortmund not winning this race. They are both monster horses. Both have a chance to possibly compete for the Triple Crown. They're both undefeated this year. I mean, two absolutely monster horses. Bob Baffert has both of them. So it should be a really, really nice race. There is a lot of good horses in this race, including the two monster horses. Kentucky Derby tomorrow should be fun. Like I said, my four superfecta pick would be American Pharaoh, Dortmund, Firing Line, and Upstart. You want to combo them anyway. That's how I'm going to do it. Those are my top four. As far as the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight tomorrow, listen, I'm glad the fight has finally happened after 5 years. I hope for the fans' sake we get a great fight. You're paying $100 for this fight. Usually you pay $50 and $60. Now it's almost $100. You really need a great fight. You're not going to get anything on the undercard. I don't even know who's on the undercard. I mean, they have to maybe pull people out of the crowd to fight on the undercard. There's nothing going on there. This is all about the main event. I really hope we get a great fight here. I think it'll be close. I think it definitely will be close. I have to give the slight edge to Mayweather. He's more of the technical boxer. Mayweather doesn't get caught into brawling too often, so Manny Pacquiao's going to try and make this a brawl. I don't think Mayweather's going to allow that to happen. He's too savvy for that, too much of a technical boxer. I want to see, though, what kind of fight we're going to get. I think it's going to be close, but remember, De La Hoya and Mayweather was close, and that was an awful fight. Even though I thought the judges got it all wrong, I thought Mayweather won by more than that. That was a close fight on the cards, but it was such a boring fight. I hope we don't get a boring fight, just like, you know, a technical decision by Mayweather where you're not getting much action and he's throwing a couple punches and getting out of the way. I really hope these guys go toe-to-toe. I think you got a better chance of that now than you did 5 years ago, and Mayweather could definitely use his speed. I think it's a close fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. The question is it going to be a great fight? Is it going to be an all-timer where you're talking about it forever, where you're going to get a rematch or a trilogy out of this? I think we really need that in boxing. I'm really hoping for it. No matter who wins, I'm hoping it's like a great classic fight, like a Hagler-Hearns, a Leonard Duran, a Leonard Hearns. Now, do I think it's going to be knockdown city in this fight? No. I don't think either one puts the other one on the canvas. I don't think anyone's getting knocked out. I think it's going the distance. I am going to pick Mayweather barely in this fight, 7-5. He's a little more of the technical boxer. He's got that long reach that I like. I am going to go with Mayweather here, 7-5 in a close fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. The question is it going to be a great fight? I really hope it is. You're plucking down your $100. You don't get much in boxing these days. You don't get many of these type of events in boxing. You really hope these guys are really going to go at each other. I think it'll be close. I have Mayweather winning 7-5. I give Pacquiao a chance. I usually root for the underdog. I'll be rooting for Pacquiao in this fight. I'd like to see the underdog win. You know, that maybe definitely sets up a rematch or a trilogy. I want to see that happen. So I'll be rooting for Pacquiao. I just think Mayweather gets it done 7-5, as he usually does. He finds a way to get the decision with his technical boxing, his long reach, his defense. Mayweather wins 7-5. I think it'll be a good fight. Let's hope it's a great fight. Okay, there you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys are all set. Like I said, monster weekend, especially tomorrow. I mean, you start off early with the Rangers Capital Game 2 playoff game, which is a monster game for the Rangers. Can't afford to go down 0-2, especially losing both on home ice. Then you got the Kentucky Derby. Then you got Game 7 Clippers-Spurs. Then you got Pacquiao-Mayweather. You got wall-to-wall action from about 12 noon to about 1 a.m. Not to mention your Major League Baseball and everything else going on, you know, in the sports world. You got so much going on tomorrow. A lot of exciting events. Could be one of the best days in sports history tomorrow if it all works out. And I'll tell you, it's going to be finally nice tomorrow here in New York. It's going to be 70 degrees tomorrow, but I'm going to be watching a lot of games inside. I'll try and get out early, you know, maybe get out, play a little basketball early. It's going to be 70 degrees around here, but there's going to be a lot to watch tomorrow. Can't wait for it. You guys definitely watch all these events. DVR them. Get to all of them. Capitals, Rangers, your NHL hockey. NBA Game 7, you know, Clippers, Spurs, Kentucky Derby is a must-watch, and Pacquiao Mayweather for all you boxing fans. Let's hope we get a great fight. There you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys are all set. Thanks so much for the support. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention the NFL draft because I can't take any more of the NFL draft. I mean, the NFL draft goes on not only last night, but tonight and tomorrow. So I can't get into the NFL draft and how every player goes to what team and they all fit in here and they don't fit in there and Winston and Mariota. I can't get into that. We'll see how it all works out. I keep an eye on it. We'll see how that works out as the NFL season gets going. But anyway, you guys, thanks for the support. Thanks as always, for all your great messages to me. I really appreciate it. You guys stay safe. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy all these great sporting events. I will talk to you Monday. We'll recap it all. Take care.